Davis.
Okay. All righty. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are streaming live on the YouTube channel. The 36th District Court is now in session. This is courtroom 334. I am Judge Miriam Martin Clark presiding, and the court is calling case number U-563-89320, Lawan Artis Davis. This is the date and time for a show cause. The original charge was disorderly conduct. Is Lawan Davis in the virtual courtroom? If so,
yes.
Please say your name for the record, sir.
Lawan Davis.
Mr. Davis, and who is representing Mr. Davis?
Elwood S. Berry Jr., P28880, Your Honor. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. And the prosecutor is also here, Miss Officer O'Driscoll. Ma'am, would you like to put your appearance on the record?
So I'm the probation officer or probation. That's okay. Jennifer O'Driscoll on behalf of the probation department.
Thank you, Ms. O'Driscoll. Now, my information is that it's something that Mr. Davis did not complete regarding his probation. This matter was previously adjudicated. Mr. Berry, do you want to speak on behalf of your client today?
Well, as I understand it, Your Honor, he was to have completed the task.
Maybe I'll have Miss O'Driscoll. Ms. O'Driscoll,
Yes.
I should let you tell us what he did not do and what he was supposed to have done.
Okay. So on May 13th of 2021, the defendant was placed on a delayed sentence and referred to the probation department for supervision. He was ordered to complete HIV, STI, or STD testing. He failed to do that or failed to complete that or provide proof to the probation department that he did complete that. He was ordered to complete 20 hours of community service. He failed to complete any hours of community service. He was instructed to complete the one-day misdemeanor morality program through eBay, and he failed to complete that also. He was also ordered to pay court costs, fines, and fees in the amount of $240, which he also failed to complete or comply with. So as of this date, the defendant has not complied with any conditions of his delayed sentence.
And this was a year ago, May 13th.
That's correct.
Okay, Mr. Davis, sir. You've heard the probation officer talk about your deficiencies. What's the problem?
I was close to being homeless because me and my wife and my daughter, we was living with my her older sister, and she had passed away, and all our bills was very, very high, and the landlord didn't want us to live there anymore because, and then we had nowhere else to go, so we kept asking them if they can like put the house in our name, and they kept trying to evict us, and we had lost our jobs too, to the point where we can't pay for the rent, and we told them to give us more time to get our jobs together and we could pay. So and then we had no heat in the house too, because due to the flood. So we were living in the house with heat for a long time, and then they finally fixed the heat, but we still behind on all our bills, like far as rent.
How old are you, Mr. Davis? How old are you?
27.
And was the original charge offering to engage?
Yes, Your Honor. And then, and then if I may, the defendant, I have his verification of the notice to quit. That was filed on October 27th of 2021. The probation department also referred him to Lakeshore Legal Aid for assistance. I don't believe he took advantage of that referral to Lakeshore Legal Aid. So he's been using this excuse for quite a while now, because it's originally happened back in October of 2021 with the eviction and the notice to quit.
No, No, it's not. It's not. It's really happening. I can really show you all the documentations
Well, what are you
that
doing about it? We're not
I,
suggesting it's not happening, but what are you doing about it?
I'm trying to keep my job, and the pay is just very very high because when first I didn't have my own house. Me, my wife, my daughter was living
What's your
with
job?
her.
What do you do?
Right now, I'm currently at work. Right now, I work at the airport, so I'm really like on the clock right now, and I couldn't get the day off to do this because I'm getting fired if I call off because I was
Well,
trying to.
let me tell you something, Mr. Davis, and listen to me carefully. I want you to listen to me carefully. This charge has a mandatory jail term as its penalty. The only way that you can avoid that mandatory jail term, which is 15 days in jail, and then what happens to your job? The only way for you to avoid that jail term is to comply with the terms of your probation and to stay in touch with your probation officer when you're having difficulty. So, what were you going to do with the prostitute? How were you
Uh,
going to pay?
no, I wasn't doing anything because the prostitute didn't get in my car. I
Well,
really thought that because at the time at the car that I had, I did Uber and Lyft.
we've accepted that plea, so we're not going back there. But I am going to really tell you, sir, that without compliance, you're looking at a jail term. So I don't know, Ms. O'Driscoll, is there a recommendation from probation at this time? Mr. Berry, do you have any suggestion for the court? How many
There is
days
a
a week do you work, Mr. Davis? How many days a week do you work?
I work 5 days. I work 5 days a week.
And what do you do at the airport?
I'm a manager, and it's called for like I'm a manager here, and it's called for me to always not call off. I already got talked to about my job because I had to fix me and my wife's cars because our cars went out. So, but I'm a manager here at the airport.
Your Honor, Tamika Horn on behalf of the City of Detroit. Mr. Davis, I'm the prosecutor in this matter, and I am going to defer to Officer Driscoll. This is a plea offer that you accepted last spring.
Yes.
And considering the levity and the gravity of the charges and what you're saying about your family, I would suggest that you try to make this happen.
I am going to. This is getting key. I was asking.
Is there a recommendation from the probation department?
Yes, there is. The probation department is recommending that the delayed sentence be revoked, and then the defendant be sentenced to a regular term of probation. In order to try and complete this, he's had multiple chances from this court to come into compliance, and he has not yet done that. And he has not availed himself of that delayed sentence. We're recommending that delayed sentence be revoked. Him sentenced to a 1-year term of probation.
All right. Well, if the delayed sentence is revoked, as probation department has asked, and instead you are sentenced to 1 year of probation, what that means, Mr. Davis, is that the opportunity to have this dismissed from your record goes away. If we allow you probation in lieu of the mandatory jail term, you would still have to complete all of these conditions. That is HIV testing. And that I'm really disturbed about, because you're a married man, you tell me. So you should know whether you have an HIV or STD. You need to know that. Your wife needs to know that. And you haven't even done that. That takes you 30 minutes at most. What's the excuse for that, Mr. Davis? Why couldn't you do that?
Just when I try to apply to go to the doctors, at the time they always schedule for a longer appointment. It'd be like towards the end of the month or so. And then
Mr. Davis, you can go to urgent care and get that kind of test. It takes 5 minutes. It's like a COVID test. Really, it doesn't take much time. I mean, you know, this is just trifling. It's just trifling. And if you'd rather do the jail time than comply with the probation, we can make that happen for you.
No, I don't want the jail time.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to get your act together, Mr. Davis. Of course, not gonna waste time with this. I am going to, Ms. O'Driscoll, revoke his delayed sentence pursuant to the request of the probation department, but his probation term for 1 year is going to have these same conditions. That is the HIV STD testing, the 2 hours community service, the misdemeanor morality program. That's just an hour on Zoom. And it's on a Saturday. So I don't know why you wouldn't be able to do that, Mr. Davis. And $240. So we will give you the probationary period of 1 year to pay that $240. But I want you to get into a mandatory payment plan. So Ms. O'Driscoll, I want you to help him with that. So if he were to pay the $240 over a 12-month period, I mean, that's less than $24 a month. I'm sure you can figure that one out. It would be something like $20 a month.
And Your Honor, just for the record, it's the recommended 20 hours of community service. I think that you just misspoke and said 2 hours, but just for the record.
I'm sorry, 20 hours of community service. And that should be very easy to accomplish too, particularly over the 1 year. But I want you to have that HIV test in 30 days. In 30 days. Now, if he does not do that, we're going to give you a review date in 3 months to see how far you've come with your compliance. If you haven't, we're just going to revoke the whole thing and give you the 15 mandatory jail time, 15 days mandatory jail time. So in 3 months, I want you to have made at least 3 installment payments on your $240. I want you to at least have had that HIV test. Really, that one I want you to have in 30 days. And the misdemeanor morality program. Now, the community service will give you a little more latitude about, but not much, because you can do that in increments too, and still complete it within the year probation period. But in 3 months, we want a review date. We want you to have gotten that test in 30 days and be able to show proof. We don't have to know the results, but we want you to show proof. We want you to have at least made 3 payments. So whatever the incremental payments are.
It'd be $20, Your Honor.
$20. So in 3 months, you should have paid $60. That's $20 a month towards the costs and fines that you owe. And I want you to have taken that misdemeanor morality class. It's online. It's 1 hour online on Zoom. I don't want to hear anything about any more excuses, Mr. Davis. We're not going to go through this again.
Okay.
All right, sir, you're a grown man. You have to take responsibility for your life. And really, Mr. Davis, once you are able to start your community service, people all over the city begging for good employees, but you've got to show them that you are a good employee, that's reliable, timely. If you do that, there are plenty of opportunities, even in this pandemic, for people to get employment. And the probation officer referred you to some assistance for housing. Isn't that right, Ms. O'Driscoll?
Yes, Lakeshore Legal Aid.
Were you able to contact them?
Yes, I called and I applied, and they told me they'll let me know. But
Where do you live? Where do you live? In Detroit?
Yes.
And how old is your child?
6.
Okay, so your child's in school.
Yeah.
And your wife is working?
Yes.
Okay. Well, come on, Mr. Davis, you can figure this out. You can figure this out. I know you can. And Ms. O'Driscoll is going to supervise that. We're going to give you a 3-month return date. Ms. Lurs, can you tell me what that date is? I didn't get the dates from you today.
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry.
It should be, let's see, this is
It would be June 29th, Your Honor.
June 29. And Ms. O'Driscoll, we're extending this probationary period for 1 year. We have withdrawn the delayed sentence, or revoked it rather. 30 days at HIV test. So I don't know where you're going, sir, but you go to your doctor, to urgent care. You can go to the city health department. HIV and STD testing. And all you have to show the court is that you had the test. You do not have to show your results to us. Okay, is there anything else, Ms. O'Driscoll, that I'm missing?
No, Your Honor, I just need to make sure that the defendant's phone number is still the same.
And Ms. Lurs, did we get his correct phone number when he checked in this morning?
I did not get his phone number, Your Honor. I just confirmed his address.
Mr. Davis, do you have a telephone?
Yes.
Okay, can you give that to Ms. O'Driscoll? I really don't want you to put it on the live.
He can put it in the chat. I can send him a message through here real quick.
Okay, sir. You have, do you know how to use the chat
Yeah. Yeah.
on your device? Okay, put your phone number in the chat for the probation officer.
I received it. Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Davis, let's get this done.
Okay.
Or not, but it's not. In 3 months, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm going to get it done.
All right, sir. Anything else, Madam Prosecutor or Ms.
Nothing further from the people, Your Honor.
Nothing further from the probation department.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Davis, you are to keep in touch with Ms. O'Driscoll from probation. Understood?
Okay. Yes.
All right, sir. You may disconnect from the hearing.
Okay.
Good luck, Mr. Davis.
Thank you.
Thank you, Officer O'Driscoll.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Officer O'Driscoll.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Good morning, Attorney Berry.
Good morning. Good morning.
I'll be back shortly. I left my phone in my cell phone in the car, so I'll be back shortly.
And Mr. Berry, is the next person Charles Davis or Dejanique Reddix?
Walter D'Andrea, Your Honor.
Yes, that's me.
Walter D'Andrea. Okay, Mr. D'Andrea, let me call you. Oh, I'm sorry. All right. SP 8860671. Walter Lawrence D'Andrea. This is the date and time for pretrial. The charge is driver's license suspended. Mr. D'Andrea, please say your full name for the record.
Walter Lawrence D'Andrea.
D'Andrea.
Yes.
All right, sir.
Elwood S. Berry Jr. on behalf of Mr. D'Andrea. Your Honor, Mr. D'Andrea would avail himself of the people's offer to allow him to enter a plea to failure to display.
All right, sir. Thank you. Mr. D'Andrea, you've heard the representation of your lawyer. Are you in agreement with that representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, were you advised of your right to a trial?
Yes.
Mr. D'Andrea, if you were to have a trial, sir, normally it would take place inside the 36th District Court. But because of the pandemic, the courthouse has been closed to the public. And so you've agreed to participate on the Zoom technology today. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. D'Andrea, did you have an opportunity to talk to your attorney about all of your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, did anyone threaten you, force you, or promise you anything in exchange for your plea?
No.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes.
Are you pleading guilty because you are act guilty?
Yes.
And sir, do you understand that by pleading guilty, you are waiving or giving up your right to a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
And knowing that you're giving up your rights to a trial, sir, you wish to go forward with the guilty plea. Is that correct?
Yes.
Mr. DeAndrea, please raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes, ma'am.
So you may lower your hand on the date, the time, and the location indicated in the ticket ending in 860671. Were you driving a motor vehicle in the city of Detroit?
Yes.
Were you stopped by a police officer?
Yes.
Did that officer ask you for a valid driver's license?
Yes.
Were you able to show that officer a valid driver's license?
No.
Mr. Berry, are you satisfied?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
The court will accept the guilty plea, being satisfied with the factual basis. We will also accept the recommendation to amend the charge to failure to display, which is a 0-point offense. The fine is $240. There is a mandatory $45 reinstatement fee, I believe. Am I correct, Madam Clerk?
Sorry, Your Honor.
Does he have a mandatory reinstatement fee on this one?
He does, Your Honor.
So $285. Thank you, Madam Clerk. $285 is your total.
And
Mr.
then I posted bond. Does any of my bond money go to that?
Yes, if you have no other open cases in 36th District Court, do you know whether you do?
I don't. I do not have any of this. Is the only one.
Okay, sir, and how much was your bond?
It was $250.
All right, we can apply that bond and then you will owe $35. Do you need more than 35? Do you need more than 30 days to pay that $35?
No, I can do it today.
Okay, just give the clerk an opportunity to put this information in the system. So, wait an hour or two or by the end of the day or tomorrow, and
So
it will
just
be in
call,
the system.
I can just call and pay over the phone.
Madam Clerk, did you tell me they would allow that or does he have to?
There is a number that you can call for phone pay. It's
Okay.
798
798. Okay.
1547.
547. Okay.
And I'm sorry, I had a call from another courtroom. Did you say that you had a bond?
Yeah, I posted a $250 bond.
Is that in the system, Madam Clerk?
It is, Your Honor. So that'll be applied to his fines and costs.
Right. So he'll only owe $35.
Yep. And
Okay.
I'll have it updated within an hour.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. DeAndre, do you have any other questions?
No, that's it. So after this, I'm able to get my license back and stuff?
Now that information I don't have. As far as I know, if you have no other matters open in 36th District Court, you should be eligible. But
Okay.
only the Secretary of State has that information.
All right.
I don't know if you have any other tickets in any other
No,
jurisdictions.
this was the only one.
Okay. All right, then you may disconnect if you have no other questions.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And I think we have Dejanique Reddix. Is that right, Madam Clerk?
Yes, but I can't seem to get her out of the breakout room for some reason. Attorney Barry, can I send you in there? Can you ask her to leave the breakout room?
I certainly will.
Thank you.
Did you find her in there, Mr. Berry?
Yes.
Oh, there she is. Okay, thank you. This is case number SP 118-38511, Dejanique Reddix.
Yes, ma'am.
Charges reckless driving. This is date and time for pretrial. Count 2 of that same ticket is driving an unregistered or untitled vehicle. If Dejanique Reddix is in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record.
Dejanique Reddix.
Ms. Reddix, who's representing Ms. Reddix?
Howard S. Berry Jr., Your Honor.
And
Your
Mr.
Honor.
Berry, how do you wish to proceed with Ms. Reddix?
Ms. Reddix was to have completed a defensive driving course before the prosecution would offer her and make an offer to resolve these matters. And she has attempted to do so, but she has to indicate in the process which judge she's doing the course for, and according to her, the list of judges does not include Kristina Robinson Garrett. So we need to. So it's our hope that we can find out what the problem is, or how to proceed, or and get a new date to allow her to go on and finish the course.
Okay. Madam Clerk, I've never heard that before.
Yes.
Okay, so whose name should she use?
Well, I don't know if there was a problem possibly with the link. Sometimes it doesn't show up. The state of Michigan has a driving improvement course, and I have a link that the prosecutor sent to me that I can forward to Ms. Reddix, and hopefully that will help.
Well, if it didn't have Judge Robinson Garrett's name, presumably because she's been elevated to the Court of Appeals, it may not have my name either, since I'm just a visiting judge. So I don't know whose name she could use. I don't know.
I'm going to try the link myself and see what pops up. And then I can let Ms. Reddix know. Madam Prosecutor said she didn't object to an adjournment.
Okay, so we'll, and then how would Ms. Reddix find out whose name she should use?
I have Ms. Reddix's email, so
Okay.
I will send her an email with the information.
Okay, and at the least, I would think perhaps the name of the presiding of the traffic division would work, but I don't know. Okay. All right, Ms. Reddix, we're going to give you an extension. If we do that, if we give you a 30-day extension to complete that driver's improvement class, that should be ample time.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so 30 days, what would that date be, Madam Clerk? That would be April the
May 4th, Your Honor.
May 4th. Okay. All right, so we will extend your review date until May 4th for you to complete this. In the meanwhile, the clerk is going to contact you on what name and how to access that link.
Okay. What
Right.
time? May 4th?
8:30.
8:30. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate your time and help.
Thank you. Anyone else ready for the live stream at this time?
Yes.
Oh,
Who?
who?
Mr. Riley,
Mr. Riley.
Kevin Riley.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, and is Mr. Riley going to be a plea?
Mr. Riley has the documents, Your Honor.
Okay, so has the prosecutor seen them? Or you seen them?
No,
You haven't seen them?
I've seen them, but I have seen them, and he has them at hand.
Okay,
And
okay, we can take your word as an officer of the court, I believe.
all right.
Mr. Riley, are you able to connect with your video camera, sir?
Yes.
This is case number SB119-13561. Kevin McGill Riley. The charge is driving an unregistered or untitled vehicle. Count 2 of that same ticket, no insurance. Mr. Riley, please say your full name for the record.
Kevin Miguel Riley.
Thank you. And who's representing Mr. Riley?
Myself.
Elwood S. Berry Jr.,
Thank you, Mr.
Your Honor.
And how are we proceeding with Mr. Riley today?
Your Honor, Mr. Riley has a valid registration as well as a valid insurance. I have seen these documents, and respectfully, we'd ask the court to dismiss these matters based on his presentation of valid documents.
All right, Mr. Berry, as an officer of the court, sir, your representation is that you have seen these documents and that they are for the vehicle that was the subject of this ticket, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then, Mr. Riley, we will dismiss these matters pursuant to House Counsel's representation that you are in compliance.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You are welcome, sir. You may disconnect. Is there anyone else ready for the live stream?
I just sent some offers to Attorney Berry.
Okay.
So
We can leave the live stream and